Hi everyone! Today we're making really delicious coconut balls. So almond flour features quite a lot on my recipes, and it's because it's versatile and depends on the coarseness, you can create different effects. But many of you have been asking about coconut flour because some of you might have nut allergies or for some reason almond flour doesn't agree with you. And also it's easier to find coconut flour from your local shops perhaps, and not so easy to find certain types of almond flour. So I hear you, and I'll be spending more time experimenting on alternative flours. So that would be coconut flour and other types of keto-friendly flour. Okay, so stay tuned, and if it works out well, you'll know about it. So today we'll be making these golden brown coconut balls using none other than coconut flour. And these delicious little balls are mini explosions of coconuts. So if you love coconuts, you're gonna love them. So the ingredients you need. So the first thing we need is coconut flour. And pretty much all coconut flour comes in finely ground like this. So unlike almond flour, there's no variation in terms of coarseness. So it's pretty straightforward. But what you need to watch out with coconut flour is the carb counts. So for whatever reason, depends on the brands you get, the carb counts per 100 grams is ranging from 16 to 50, 50. And I don't know why that is, but on average, they're about 20. So definitely check the label when you buy. So this one I'm using is about 20 carbs per 100 grams. And then we need some coconut. So what I've got here is desiccated coconut. So this is a dry coconut flesh, and they're so fragrant and so lovely. We're going to mix some into the dough itself and also use it to coat our lovely coconut balls. And to bind the whole thing together, we're going to use flax seeds, ground flax seeds. So we're going to create flax eggs. So it's basically using flax seeds as egg replacements. And you can use chia seed, ground chia seeds. It's pretty much working the same way. So if you don't have flax seeds in your cupboard, use ground chia seeds. And then we need some sweetener of your choice. So it depends on the sweetener you use, the quantity will vary. So you need to adjust it for your taste. And then we need some coconut oil to make it nice and moist. And finally, we need some vanilla extract, not vanilla essence. So the essence tend to be artificial. So make sure you get vanilla extract. So what I've got here is in paste form. It's quite thick. Okay, so that's all you need. Okay, so the first thing we need to prepare is flax egg. It's really, really simple. And as I said, you could use chia seed as well. So we need 2 eggs. So the ratio for 1 egg is 1 tablespoon of flax seeds versus 3 tablespoons of warm water. So this is 2 tablespoons of flaxseed, ground flax seeds. And inside we're going to add in 6 tablespoons of warm water. So this is warm to touch, but not scorching, which is need 6 tablespoons of warm water. Okay? And then just whisk it to mix it together. And that's it. And then we're going to leave it for about 10 minutes. Just allow it to kind of all bind together. And now what we're going to do is literally mixing all ingredients together in a mixing bowl. It's that easy. So the first thing we're going to pop in is the coconut flour. I've got 60 grams here, so that goes in. And then we're going to add in some desiccated coconuts. I say a tablespoon or 2 should be plenty. So it depends on how much you like your coconuts. And then our flax eggs. So it's been sitting there for about 10 minutes. It's really nice and gooey. And this is going to bind the whole thing together. And then we're going to add in the sweetener. So again, depends on the type of sweetener you're using. Your sweetener could be in liquid form. So you need to adjust the quantity you need. So with my type of sweetener, I need about 2 tablespoons and a little bit maybe. Something like that. And then vanilla extract. So you just need a little bit. I'm going to squeeze a little bit in. And if you're using liquid form, just a dash. So that's all the ingredients in the bowl. But we're going to add in one more, and that's a little bit of salt. Just literally just a small pinch, tiny bit, just tiny bit. So the salt will accentuate the sweetness. So just tiny bit of salt in there. And then just mix the whole thing together. I'm using a spatula to start with, and then I'm going to switch to my hands later on. I'm going to use my hands now and just gather the whole thing together and mix it well. Oh, hang on, there's one thing I forgot. We need to add in our coconut oil. I was wondering why the dough is so dry. So this is 70 grams of coconut oil. So don't forget to add it in, okay? Mix it together. Okay, I'm going to use my hand to mix it. That's much better. I was panicking for a moment. I must have missed something. Okay, so just kind of squeeze your way through. That's the best way to mix it. So it's important to mix it really well, so the flax eggs have a chance to bind everything together. Okay, eventually you should be able to gather the whole thing together. It's not going to be a solid kind of dough ball, like a bread dough. It's not like that. It would be crumbly still, but you should be able to bind the whole thing together. I clean the bowl. Okay, so you can see the texture of the dough ball. It's moist and crumbly as well. So we're going to leave the dough ball in the mixing bowl and maybe cover it with a towel and leave it for 10 minutes. Okay, so our dough is ready. It's been rested for about 10 minutes. Now we're going to divide it into little balls. So what you need is desiccated coconut. So put in a kind of a plate. It will be a lot easier for you. And then we need some more melted coconut oil. So have them ready. So I'm going to just take a small portion of the dough. So it will still be quite crumbly, it's normal. The best way to do it is kind of pinch the dough in your palm. It's almost like you're trying to clench your fist. Just press it tight. So this would squeeze out any air pockets in there and just make it bind together. And then kind of gently shape it into a ball shape, like that. So it doesn't have to be perfect. If you start doing this, it will probably crumble. So what you want to do is kind of just gently shape it into a ball. And that looks pretty good. And then we're going to coat it with melted coconut oil. So just dip your ball into the coconut oil and then transfer it onto the desiccated coconuts and then cover it, almost like breadcrumbs. Just cover it with the coconut bits. It's lovely. And just kind of pat it down gently. Just make sure the coconut sticks. And I've got my baking tray here and it's covered with a layer of baking sheet. So I put some oil underneath to make it stick. And then we're going to grease the baking sheet as well. Just tiny bit of oil, a few drops, and then just spread. And then we're going to place our coconut ball onto the baking tray. Okay? So I made 8 of them. So this recipe should make you about 12 to 14 coconut balls. So I'm baking 8 at a time. I mean, look at these. They look good enough to eat right now, but they have to be baked, okay? So they're ready to go into the oven. So these gorgeous, gorgeous coconut balls are going to 180-degree preheated oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. Depends on your oven. And if you find the surfaces are browning too soon and you want to make sure the centers are baked properly, then turn the oven down to 170 degree for the final few minutes. So there you go. There's our beautiful golden brown coconut balls. I can't wait to taste them. So what you want to do is to leave them to cool off before eating them. I know it's very tempting to want to eat them out of the oven, but the texture are still a little bit crumbly. So you want to leave them to cool off and you get the best texture. So there you go, here's my victim. Look at that, so lovely and golden brown. So there you go, here's my little ball. So it's a bit messy, but the coconut is just so lovely. They're so moist and light and fluffy. They're mini coconut cakes really, and I think you're gonna like them. And the salt really makes a difference, so make sure you add in that pinch of salt. So I hope you liked today's recipe and we'll give it a go. They're just such great snacks. So follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I post the food I eat and recipes from this channel, so make sure you check out my Instagram. So once again, Thank you for hanging out with me today, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.